And joining us from Darwin is Katie Woolf, host of Mornings on Mix 104.9 in Darwin. Thanks for joining us again, Katie.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me.
Hey, tell us your thoughts on Mac Horton, the Australian swimmer. Now he's been followed up by the Brit, Duncan Scott. What do you think about taking a stand against Sun Yung in this way over drug cheating?
I reckon good on him. I think it's a good thing that he's taken a stand. Swimmers put in such a phenomenal amount of time and effort into their training, and I know that I'd be absolutely filthy if I thought that I was standing up against somebody who was cheating, especially in this way. I think FINA and WADA probably need to step up a little bit here, get a bit tougher. And if you've got somebody that's set to, that's set for this case in September, and people are worried, the competitors that are up against him are concerned that he's a drug cheat and feel that he is a drug cheat, well, I actually think they've taken the right step here, Chris.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Katie, and you're in pretty good company too. Let's have a listen to perhaps the greatest swimmer of Australia of all time, Dawn Fraser.
I personally don't think he should be swimming. He's got a court of arbitration in September, and I feel that FINA should have stepped him down until that court case is over. And if he's not if he's proven not guilty, well, that's fine. He can go back to swimming. I mean, we go back to East Germany when all those German swimmers were caught with drugs. We want a clean sport, and let's protest against it. FINA got to get off their backsides and do something about it.
Do you support Duncan Scott and Mac Horton's stance?
I stand right behind them.
Yeah, well done, Dawn Fraser. When you think about her career, Katie, it kind of exposes how ridiculous this is. Here's a bloke swimming even though he's been done for drugs before, and he's still waiting an outcome on the investigation about him smashing these blood vials. Dawn Fraser got banned back in the day just for pinching a flag from the Emperor's joint.
That's exactly right. Oh, how times have changed. And, you know, I think that we've got to get really tough. When you talk about drugs in sport, we cannot have a situation where you've got a number of, the large majority of competitors doing the right thing. And then you've got some that aren't doing the right thing. They just shouldn't be allowed to compete, in my opinion. Yeah,
I wouldn't have thought it's an area where you sort of have... 2 or 3 chances. I mean, if you're done as a drug cheat once, shouldn't that eliminate you from professional sport forever?
I would think so. I'm actually really surprised. I'm actually surprised to hear that there is somebody swimming who is about to head into this court case in September and who's been accused of cheating when it comes to the sport. I would think that's the one area where we would not allow people to continue to take part in this sport if we're concerned that they're cheating. Like, I mean, honestly, it really surprises me that we're even in this situation.
Yeah, indeed. Now, we crossed up to Darwin just moments ago to catch up with Matt Cunningham to tell us about Reece Kershaw, your police commissioner, who's now about to be the AFP commissioner nationally. But your corrections commissioner there is a bloke who interests me now. Well, certainly one of his decisions, an amazing story where he's suggesting you're going to give prison inmates, puppy dogs.
Yeah, I tell you, I was a little bit sceptical about this one, Chris, and I had the Corrections Commissioner on my show a little earlier this morning, and he explained it a bit further. Now, he's actually worked in the corrections system around Australia in different locations, and I believe that he implemented a program, I think it was actually in New South Wales, where they had a situation where some of the prisoners were working with animals, which were then, after a 12-month period, were then going on to help people with disabilities. And he said that he spoke of the benefit not only that brings, obviously, to the prisoners in terms of having that purpose and also helping the community, but then when those dogs go out into the community and are able to help those people with disabilities. Now, here in the Northern Territory, he's looking at possibly working with the RSPCA and also with PAWS, an animal shelter that operates here in the Territory, and maybe being able to get those dogs into the prisons. There is still a bit of a way to go. There's still a few hurdles, as I understand it, to get over. But hopefully, and he said this morning that he's hoping that they're able to actually get that program implemented fairly soon.
Yeah, it doesn't seem a bad idea in terms of giving someone responsibility, something to focus on, a bit of companionship. I'm not much of a dog person, but you want to make sure you give them the right dogs too. You don't want prisoners raising Rottweilers and pit bulls in jail.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. You want them to be, you want them to be the right kind of animal. And I agree. I am a dog person. I love animals, but I think that that if it could be a good thing for the rest of the community as well, and also to try and help those prisoners. I think at the end of the day, when people are incarcerated, you want them to come out better people, not better offenders.
Yeah, good point. Now, tell us about the ongoing controversy over Uluru and whether or not people should be able to climb it, what it's going to be doing to tourism. There's a senior custodian who said that tourism's still going to thrive. They must be a bit concerned that numbers will drop off.
Look, I'm a bit more concerned, I think, than the government is saying that they are. We caught up. I spoke to the Tourism Minister yesterday morning and she spoke about our tourist numbers increasing, but I asked that very question. Do you think those numbers are increasing due to the fact that people are heading to the Red Centre to be able to climb all before it closes to climbing in October? She said she didn't think so. She doesn't seem to think that there's going to be a huge impact when Uluru closes to climbing in October. But I tend to wonder if there is going to be, Chris. Maybe. I really hope there isn't. I hope that that people from all around the world continue to go to Central Australia and visit Uluru, but I do still worry that we're going to see a bit of a dip. And to be honest, here in the Northern Territory, we just want to get as many tourists to the Territory as we can. We've got massive or great numbers in Central Australia, but we're struggling a little bit in the top end. Again, the government says that those numbers have increased when it comes to tourists in the top end, but anecdotally, from a lot of those operators, we're not really hearing that we've got huge numbers at the moment. So we don't want to see a dip when it comes to tourism anywhere in the Northern Territory, really.